Hello, welcome to Motorcycling with Carl. Today we're going to be installing the anti-gravity battery lithium-ion ATX12 heavy duty in my 2019 Iron1200 Sportster. Alright, so I did do a video, I'll leave a link here to the batteries that I was thinking about getting and why I got this one. But to touch on this really quick and tell you, this battery was a little expensive. I'll leave a link in the description to RevZilla where I got it. I think it was around $255. But this battery has a full battery management system, so it will not let you overcharge the battery. It will put itself to sleep once it gets down to a certain voltage. So if you leave something on your bike, the battery will shut power off, put itself to sleep. You come out to the bike, you go to start it, there's no power. You do have to take your seat off or the side cover, whatever. You get to the button on the top of the battery, you push it, the battery will wake itself up. It has left enough voltage in it to start your bike and get your bike running. It's really, really cool. I am going to be breaking this video into chapters so you can go ahead and see what you want or go back and forth. Doesn't bother me. Toward the end of this video, I am going to be going further into the restart feature. I talked about on RevZilla, they talk about a fob to wake it up and everything. I'll go into that toward the end of this video. Please do me a favor, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell so you get notifications of when I put out new videos. And thanks for watching. Let's get into this. Let's get the seat and side cover off and get this battery in. So as you guys know, we're going to get ready to remove the battery here. I just want to let you know, I'm not a professional mechanic. I am an electrician by trade, but I do a lot of reading, a lot of research. So I have the service manual that tells you exactly how to remove the battery. So I'm going to go through that step by step with you right now to remove the battery. So the first thing they say to do is take the fuse block off the little piece of Velcro here. Take the cover off. Alright, and we're going to remove the main fuse, which is this 40 amp. So that's out. Alright, so we'll set that to the side and the cover. And then they say to take off the negative terminal first. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Take the negative off. This battery has two things on the negative terminal and 3 on the positive. So that one thing is my my charger that I had put on. So we'll fold the negative terminal out of the way there. This for now we will bring up over here out of the way. Alright, now it says to take the boot, move it out of the way, and I'm going to take off the positive terminal here. I do have a screwdriver I'm using, but I did tape the shaft just in case it were to hit any metal, and that's just an extra safety precaution on my part. So take out positive terminal here. Okay, screw is out. And we have the two Harley terminals and the one that I added later for the charger. So now what you have to do is, there's a bolt on the bottom of the strap here, or a screw. says to take that out. Take that out of there. Okay, put that down. Take the strap out of here where it catches. Okay, now carefully, the battery should just slide out of here. Alright, now we'll put this on the bench, and we're gonna compare the size, make sure everything looks the same. So let me unbox this, we'll see what's in here, and I want to make sure the batteries are the same size. I can tell you what, it's so much lighter. This battery's only like 3.3 pounds compared to whatever that is. Big, huge difference. Alright, so they give you, the anti-gravity battery has 4 terminals on it. Alright, so you could flip the battery any way you want, and you can mount it in any direction. So the mounting is pretty much limitless. And they actually give you hardware for all 4 terminals. If you want to use them all, you can. So there's that. So what I'm going to do, let's take the bubble wrap off here. Wow. All right, so the battery width, both directions, is good. The height is a little different. Here's the button, that is the restart. So if I were to push this, it restarts the battery if it was disconnected. So hopefully once it's in there, I'll be able to reach that easily. I actually wish it was on this side of the battery, but we're gonna see how it goes. All right, so I'm gonna be installing the new restart battery now. It was not as tall as the original one, so when I looked at it, it does come up a little short where it looks like it might vibrate a little. So a piece of this foam that came with the battery, I'm gonna put it in there to take up that little bit of space. So let me see, I'll slide this in. Alright, so now the battery is in there. I'm going to put the mounting strap back on. Okay. Alright, it all seems just as tight as before. So now reverse order. I'm looking at where that restart button is. It's not very accessible for me, which isn't a great thing, but I mean I could get to it. I could push it right there. Once the seat is off, I could probably just pop the cover and get to it. Not a terrible thing, but not an easy thing either. So let's go ahead and see if we could catch the screws on the positive side here. Sure we get them the way they were. Right. Get in there with the wrench. Tighten them up. I gotta get this negative fed back in there like that. That one goes up there. Right, slide our terminal block in there. So now make sure I cover this back up here like that. Alrighty, that's better. Give this a final snug. Alright, put the main fuse back in. Get the seal on there. See, snap the cover back on. Put that up in there on the Velcro. Alright, I'm going to put the seat and the battery cover back on. I'll be right back with you. Alright, here we are out at the bike. Gonna test this thing out. Before I go ahead and turn it on and start it up, I just want to let you know, go over, check out Tim Finning's channel. He just did a thing about battery terminals being loose, and there's a ground post on this bike. I checked all of my stuff. Everything was tight, so that wasn't the issue with my battery, but go over, check them out. So let me turn on the power here. Okay, power on. What I'm going to do is just leave it on for a second, because the lithium ion batteries like to have a little draw on them. It actually wakes them up. Let's turn the power on. Surprisingly, the fuel pump sounds different. It didn't go, but let's go ahead and start this baby up. Didn't reset my gauge, so that's a good thing. Boom. Oh, I'm loving the sound of that. Alright, let's just try to refire it up and see what happens. Beautiful. Sounds good. What's nice about this charger for my phone is it has a voltage gauge on it. So you can see right now we're at 13.8. Very nice. I told you I was going to talk about the restart feature, which I think is really awesome. If this battery goes below a certain voltage, it'll cut off, put itself to sleep. And as I showed you earlier in the video, there's a little button on top of the battery that you have to push, and it'll wake the battery up, and it should have enough power to start your bike. All right. So the one thing that I saw when I bought this battery, I was kind of excited on Revzilla. He talked about there being a fob where you can just push the button and it wakes the battery back up and you're good to go. Well, I did a lot of research. So before I got the battery, I was looking all over Revzilla for this fob or whatever. Can't find it anywhere. Battery came in. I was then again excited because they gave me a part number for the, the remote restart, and the part number is actually for a harness. So what you have to do is you have to attach a wiring harness to the battery, and it comes out and it's got a little tiny connector on it. But at that point, I'm like, well, how do you wake it up from a connector? I watched some of their videos, and it's my understanding, all right, if I figured all of this out correct, they said any 12-volt source applied to the battery will wake it from sleep mode. So what they want you to do is they have little personal micro starters. They're little jump starters. They're tiny little things, but I think they could start a 4-cylinder car. They're that powerful. they're $100. You have to get one of those. You plug it into the harness, you push the little button, and when it puts a voltage to the battery, it wakes it up. So I'm probably not going to get that because I have to take my seat off and maybe pop the battery cover a little bit and get in there and I could push the button. But if it was easier and less expensive, I probably would get it. But if your battery is tucked away somewhere where you cannot get to it, just to give you the heads up, between the micro starter and the battery harness, you're probably looking at another $120 on top of the $255 or whatever this was, which I will leave a link in the description to this battery. I was pretty impressed with it. Went out there, 40 degrees. They say the lithiums in cold weather off the get-go are a little bit weaker in cold weather. But once you hit the starter, even if it didn't start the first time, once you put a draw on that battery, they say it wakes them up, and the battery will only get stronger as you use it as long as it's fully charged. So I was pretty impressed. My gauge didn't get reset or anything with this battery, so like everything else I've done over the winter here, only time will tell. I can't wait for it to warm up a little bit and get out to do a review of everything I've done to this bike so far. The progressive fork springs, the 412 rear shocks, the new seat, sissy bar, luggage rack. What else did I do? Did some other stuff, but I got some, I'm going to be doing some LED retrofit indicators front and rear. Got that coming up. Working on the project bike. So that's going to wrap up this video. And like always, this is Carl saying laugh a lot, be nice, and stay safe.